Okay. So we'll start. Yeah. So good morning, dear students. All right. Let's continue. Today the attendance is less, but as compared to the day one. Okay. But we'll start. Live streaming students is all good to go. Just let me know. Is everything okay? चलो आज communication का topic we'll try and girls first bench and second bench girls don't talk. AC ऑन आहे करायचं आहे ऑन आहे ओके तो ब्रेकफास्ट खाया कि नहीं खाया इट्स टू अर्ली फॉर ब्रेकफास्ट आफ्टर दिस लेक्चर you'll have okay yes so I know the YouTube channel is back, but the staff who had already set the stream here, kal se I will go on the SPC YouTube channel only. I know the channel is back, yes. So let's understand. We are on the topic of what beta? Communication. We studied how many networks yesterday? 5. Okay, so I want you to do it like this with me as an action. पहला क्या था? Vertical. Vertical के बाद circuit. Circuit के बाद chain. Chain के बाद wheel and spoke. And last is star. Star is anywhere anybody is having its open and multiple channels of communication. Right? Yes. So now today I'm going to teach you the characteristics of communication. Ki characteristic माने how should communication be, and then we have barriers of communication. Beta, what do we have? Characteristics and barriers. Okay. Now see. हळू बोल. अरे काय त्याचं नाव? हळू बोल. हाँ अभी सुनना. ओके लिसन बेटा आप अटेंड कर ही रहे हो तो लेट्स ट्राई एंड फिनिश लर्निंग इन द क्लास इटसेल्फ. यू ऑल शुड रिपीट विथ मी. क्या करना है? यू ऑल शुड रिपीट विथ मी. विथ दैट व्हाट हैपेंस? योर कॉन्फिडेंस इज डेवलप्ड. सो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड. हियर वील डू कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. Yeah, here we are. Okay. So characteristics माने क्या? Features. Communication कैसा होना चाहिए? How should communication be? Communication should be complete. It should be clear. No, these are the characteristics. So you can get a short note on any of these characteristics. Now I'll explain you. All questions of communication is not, none of the question is going to be above 2 marks. Okay. Now characteristic of communication means first, the main purpose क्या है कि पूरा मैसेज जाना चाहिए. You should send a complete message. Communication, you know, characteristic C, it has many C's only. Many characteristics are starting with C. It should be complete. Okay. It should be clear. It should be concise. Now let's understand. एक एक करके यहाँ से we'll first understand. So live streaming students, please focus. Everybody, how should the characteristics be? Clear. Highlighter, colorful pens, all ready? Are you all charged up? Yes, sit straight, spine cord straight, and everybody should have an eye contact with the teacher who's teaching you. उससे बहुत अच्छे से आपको समझ में आता है. Must have an eye contact with the teacher so that you all are able to understand. Now, clear. Any spoken or written communication should state the purpose of message clearly. The language should be simple. Sentences should be short. I'll tell you, just to show that you know and your English is very good, don't try to make long sentences. Sentences should be short. Long sentences, a person will just get confused. Ki what exactly are you trying to tell? So the first very important thing is that communication should be clear. Communication should be clear. The purpose should be clearly indicated. Ki what message that I want to pass on. Otherwise, I'm talking, and at the end you're like, अच्छा बोलना क्या चाह रहे हो? What are you trying to tell us? ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. That shouldn't be the case. That what are you exactly trying to tell us? No, the message should be clearly passed on. Now it should be short. The text, the message is lost in long, convoluted, मतलब long complicated sentences. Each idea or point must be explained in a separate bulleted points. Make it easy for the reader to grasp the intent of communication. So how should the communication be? Clear. That's the first and the most important characteristic. So we'll see how many C's are there. Okay. C for characteristic. Characteristic का मतलब होता है features. How should communication be? It should be clear. So the first C says what? Communication should be clear. Clear होने के लिए the purpose. You understand, whenever you communicate, there is some purpose. I have to communicate to you, okay, kal eco lecture was not there, so I'm taking the class at 9. So clear communication, instructions have to be clear. There should not be any confusion. Is that clear to everybody? Yes. Second is concise. Concise means to the point, brief. It should be short and absolutely to the point. Okay, concise means short and it should be to the point. ब्रेविटी मतलब ब्रीफ होना चाहिए. ब्रेविटी का मतलब क्या है? ब्रीफ. ब्रीफ का मतलब क्या होता है? शॉर्ट. No one has the time to read long drawn out essays. Oh my god, they're too boring, too much text to read. It becomes, sometimes even WhatsApp forwards you get are too long. Do you even bother to read? You say, no yaar, it's too long message, I'm not reading it. Some forwards are too long. Do you even bother to read? No, nobody has the time to read such long messages. So your message has to be brief. Brief mane short. Short mane concise. Yes. Your message has to be chota, means concise, means brief and short. Besides, the core content is lost in elaborate details. Avoid using too many irrelevant words, adjectives. For example, you see, I mean to say, arey, come to the point directly. Don't say you see, this is what I'm trying to say. No, come to the point directly. Ensure that there are no repetitions. Acha, how can a message be short? If you do not do repetitions. If you repeat and say the same thing in a different sentence, the same message you say again in a different sentence, it is one and the same. So how can a message be short if you avoid repetitions? You avoid words like I see, I mean to say, these adjectives and these unnecessary words. Avoid karo, don't use them, then automatically your message will become short, brief and concise. Kya bolne ka Kamal? Short, brief and concise. What are we learning, by the way? Characteristics of communication. Come on everybody, what are we learning? Characteristics of communication. First characteristic, first is clear, second is concise. Okay. Third is concrete. Concrete. Let's read. The content of your communique should be tangible. It should be based on facts and figures. Now, if I ask you to say, can you get a report on vaccination drive in India? Report writing is there. So I've given that homework to that batch there, that report writing on vaccination drive. Ki India mein how many people are vaccinated, what is the age group. Now that for children also there is a vaccine about 12 years are also eligible. There's research going on for the below that age group also. So, when I tell you, write a note on vaccination drive in India, will you write on your own? What will you have to do? You will first have to Google and find out the facts. So, आपका जो communication होना चाहिए, communication means what? The answers that you write, the essays that you write, a note that you write. If you want to pass on some message to somebody, कि नहीं आज भारत बंद है, are you sure बंद है क्या? Or have you just got some forward message और उसके basis पे you're deciding? So be very clear. Have you read it or heard it in the newspaper or the news? Only then, if you're very sure, only then you pass on the message. Do not pass on rumors or something like that. So your message should be concrete. It should be based on facts. So communication can be anything. A simple message to be sent to your friends about a class today or college holiday today or exam being postponed. You just see some n number of videos on YouTube and you say, okay, some foundation exam is getting postponed. Read, be very sure. Are you very sure? Did you go and check on ICI website? That means your message should be concrete. It should be based on facts. It should be based on facts. So it should be based on facts and figures. Abstract ideas and thoughts are liable to misinterpretation. Abstract. नहीं मुझे ऐसा लगा कि शायद कल छुट्टी नहीं. That's not done. That's abstract. It's not concrete. You're not very sure. Okay. So make sure that there is just sufficient detail to support your case, argument, and bring focus to the main message. So when you send a message or forward a message, be sure that you have your facts in place. Correct? Concrete का सबसे important keyword क्या है? Facts. So it should be based on facts and figures. It should not be abstract. It should not be abstract. Is that okay, beta, everybody? Yes, now the attendance is increasing, so that's nice. Okay, so chalo jaldi, what are we learning? Characteristics of communication. C for characteristics, and many characteristics are starting with C. The first one, clear. Second one, concise. Third one, concrete. And the fourth one is coherent. The meaning of coherent, dictionary meaning of coherent is logical sequence. What is the meaning of coherent? Logical sequence. मतलब link होना चाहिए. Whatever I'm talking. Now see, today if I come here or any faculty comes here, I'll teach you chapter 1 का first 2 pages. Then I'll go to chapter 3 का next 3 pages. Then I'll go to chapter 6. Is that okay? What will you tell us? That ma'am, please teach us in a sequence. That's coherent, because a sequence gets to a logical understanding. So coherent का meaning है messages, communication should be in a logical sequence. You can't jump from one idea to another. So if you're even writing your answers in law, you will learn. Wherever you're writing this theory, case studies hota hai. So there's a sequence. First point you write down about the provision of the law. Then you analyze the question, the facts of the question, and then you say analysis or conclusion. Do you understand that? So sequence, you can't just jump your answer from point 1, then directly go to 10th point and then come back to 2. No. Do you understand that? Yes. So coherent in writing, speech refers to a logical bridge between the words. So what is the meaning of coherent? Is a logical sequence. Come on, what is coherent? Logical sequence. So there has to be a logical bridge. एक sentence का दूसरे, you know, if you always, when you're writing an essay, writing a report, link your introduction, then come to the body, then come to the conclusion. So there has to be a proper sequence to it. Main ideas and meanings can be difficult for the reader to follow if the writer jumps from one idea to another. So do not jump from one idea to another. Write down here. Do not jump from one idea to another. Thank you, Harshada. Come on. So, आज attendance here also is a little better. You watch the lectures, I think YouTube पे है, तो you watch it आराम से afterwards, क्या? All live streaming students do that. Okay. So here, logical sequence, and what should you write? Do not jump from one idea to another. Chalo, do not jump from one idea to another. Use contradictory words to express himself. The key to coherence is sequentially organized and logically presented. So आपका जो material होता है, first gather the material, then decide the sequence in which you're going to write. So it should be properly organized in a correct sequence. All content under the topic should be relevant, interconnected, and present information in a flow. So a good flow should be there. Do you understand that? There should be a proper flow maintained. Okay. So present information in a flow. Did you understand? चलो सारे keywords को circle करते जाओ. Circle all the keywords. Important it is. Come on, what are we learning? C for characteristics, and many characteristics starting from C. Come on, C for characteristic. Characteristic मतलब features. How should your communication be? Communication should be C for clear, C for concise, C for concrete, C for coherent, and next C for complete. Can you leave half message? And I'll tell you. If you text on the WhatsApp group, the communication is the most pathetic if you're planning something. If you're planning to go out for a movie, you're planning, there is so much confusion. By the time you just type, and your plans will never happen. If you're messaging on WhatsApp, you have a big group and you're deciding. So somebody will type, movie, acha, this new movie is coming. So should we go for this movie? So then somebody will, then again you have to give, your communication has to be clear. Message should be complete. So should we go for the movie this weekend? No, you have to be clear. What time? ये shows के timing है. What date? Which theater are you planning to go? So people nowadays, do you know that एक ही MACD के कितने outlets हैं? Yes. So PVR theater is there in many malls. So which movie and where, which hall you're going to, if that message is not complete, then the communication is half and it will lead to confusion. Communication should be complete. So let's go for a movie. Movie ka name and time and so. Should we plan, then should we book the ticket, and all that stuff has to be, the message should be clear. ये सौरभ है क्या? हाँ यही है वो. ठीक है. आज क्लास में तो आया है, कल क्लास के बाद मिला था मुझे 10 बजे. हाँ ठीक है. नाउ लिसन, चलो कम्युनिकेशन कैसा होना चाहिए? कंप्लीट होना चाहिए, राइट. अ कंप्लीट कम्युनिकेशन कन्वेज, सो राइट डाउन सर्कल. पहले तो कंप्लीट को हाईलाइट कर दो. इसके कीवर्ड्स क्या है? इट शुड कन्वे ऑल फैक्ट्स एंड इंफॉर्मेशन. कीप इन माइंड the reader's intellect and attitude. Now see, if you are sending a message to a person who's new in your company, so who's new to the so if the staff here, when I started lecture at 8:15, Amar is here for many time, and he's been doing the lectures, stream, everything ready. So I just tell him I'm coming at 8:15. He knows the YouTube stream has to be ready, app streaming has to be ready, the laptop has to be put. But instead of him, if we have some new staff here and I tell him I have lecture at 8:15, he may not know that if I have a lecture at 8:15, what all he is going to arrange and keep. So I have to see who the receiver is also. If receiver is Amar and he is always used to putting my lectures, he knows that my lecture timings are this is what I need. He will keep it ready, he'll keep my laptop ready, he'll keep the stream ready. If there's a new staff, he may just open the laptop and keep, he doesn't know, acha, I have to put the streaming also, I have to do these other things also. Right? So you have to also understand कि receiver का attitude, receiver का intellect क्या है. जिसको आप मैसेज भेज रहे हो, द पर्सन टू होम आई एम सेंडिंग द मैसेज, व्हाट इज हिज इंटेलेक्ट एंड व्हाट इज हिज एटीट्यूड. दैट ऑल्सो मेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंस. डू यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस? यस. Okay, a complete communication helps in building company's reputation, aids in better decision making. So a complete communication has lot of benefits. A complete communication helps in building the company's reputation, better decision making, because receiver has got all the facts. Now see, if somebody will just message, let's go for a movie on so and so date. Or no, date is not mentioned, time is not mentioned. You just say that let's, अभी कौन सा movie release हो रहा है? What movies do you like to watch? हो गया, कब release हो रहा है? तो तू जाने वाला है क्या? 7th को, 8th को? हाँ. So if you are planning for some movie and you just send a message, let's go for this movie. Can the people communicate yes or no? See, everybody will give you a thumbs up, but then moment you say let's go on Saturday, then somebody says nahi, Saturday I have this plan. Oh, Saturday this time I can't come. So the decision is not, does it help in decision making? No. When will it help in decision making? When you put a message, let's go for this in this movie, this in this time, and this in this theater. Do you understand that? Yes. So a complete communication helps to take decisions faster. Is that clear? Yes. And here another C for courteous. Courteous का मतलब polite. What is the meaning of courteous बेटा? Polite. Respectful बात होनी चाहिए, polite. Courtesy implies that the sender is polite. You should be polite, considerate, respectful, open and honest with the receiver. You know, when you tell students also honestly, no, this is the problem, we can't, or the YouTube channel has gone, you yourself go ahead and tell honestly. अगर आप बताते हो कि this is the issue that we are facing, people understand it very clearly. So your communication always has to be honest, it has to be polite. Courteous matlab it has to be polite. You can't be rude. Okay, so if your Reliance Industries is there, but still if you tell us nahi Jio ka network connection hai, the engineer doesn't come on time, you're like, I don't care who's the owner or how big your company is, give me good services. Communication should be always polite, should be respectful, right, should be open and should be honest. Is that clear to everybody? Yes. So courteous means polite. Courteous means sender should be polite, considerate, respectful, open and honest with the receiver. Sender of the message takes into the consideration viewpoints and feeling of the receiver. Make sure nothing offensive or with hidden negative tone is included. So communication, official communication तो सीख रहे हैं, ये तो करना ही नहीं है. Informal में if you do this kind of communication, you will lose out your friends, you will have problems in your relations. So that's not good. ये तो formal communication के rules I am teaching you. In office and all, so you definitely cannot afford to lose on your customers. Your communication always has to be courteous and polite. Is that clear better to everybody? Come on. How many C's we learned? 6. So what are the characteristics of communication? First C is for, okay, 1 minute, I'll just highlight them. So the first C is clear, concise, concrete, coherent, complete and courteous. Is that okay? Yes. Then listening for understanding. Now next few things, okay? Listening for understanding. Sometimes if you're just listening or sitting in the class physically but mentally you're not present here, then there's no point. When you come to the class, enter the classroom, sit here with the intention कि नहीं today जो भी class में हो रहा है, whatever is being taught in the class, I'm going to understand it, retain it. So always then that communication is complete. See, if my side I'm teaching and telling you, my communication is clear, it's concise, but what is the point if it doesn't reach you? If you don't understand. So the receiver also should be equally ready to listen and to understand it. Do you understand that? So that is also there, very, very important, that listener must see to it that you're listening for understanding. See, you guys as students are sitting in the class, I know from many hours together, it's very difficult to sit in one place. It is very difficult to sit in one place and continuously listen. Very difficult. If I also go and attend a seminar on a particular one-day seminar, after a few hours, even my mind will get distracted. You have to give training to your mind, consciously tell your mind, no, I'm getting distracted. Get back to the lecture, get back. Slowly, steadily, your mind gets that habit. Always I tell the students, what is there, what is important, switch in and switch out mantra is there. Switch in and switch out. When you're studying, study thoroughly. When you take a half an hour break, enjoy in that break. In that break, studies ka tension mat lo. My homework is pending, that extra class is pending. Let it go. Half an hour, enjoy. So even in my study leave, Sunday evening, definitely I went out for movies with friends, go out for dinner with family. You have to enjoy. Otherwise, you don't get recharged. Do you understand that? Don't be serious in life. You're doing CA, that doesn't mean you can't enjoy. You can. But if you learn to switch in and switch out. So otherwise एक बार आप छुट्टी के मोड में आ गए तो पढ़ाई के मोड में नहीं आते. That's very dangerous then. Okay? Yes. So let's understand. Yes. Switch off the fan. Which is the switch here? You know it. Please come then. Come. Okay. Listening for understanding. Which switch? और किसका fan? Okay? Everybody's okay? Yeah. All right. Now let's understand. Listening for understanding. We are bombarded by noise, sound in all our waking hours. We hear conversation, news, gossip, many other forms of speech all the time. However, most of it is not listened to carefully. बहुत सारी आवाज़ें आती है, बहुत सारे conversations होते हैं. आवाज़ क्या? कभी-कभी हमारे internal distractions भी होते हैं. You know, you fought with your mom or somebody has, or something, you've not had a good day at your hostel. That thing is disturbing you still. That shouldn't happen. Again, that is important. What is that? Everything is switch in and switch out. Leave it there and come here and just focus on your studies. Okay? Everybody is having some problems or the other in their life. So you all have to learn to switch in and switch out. Okay. So here, a good listener does not only listen to the spoken words, but observes carefully the non-verbal cues. Cues का मतलब होता है hint. You know, interview में सबसे ज़्यादा. Interview में अगर panel of interviews होता है ना वहाँ पे लेने के लिए, One person is observing your body language. When you are going for a very high post, you are also trained how to sit, how not to cross the leg, how should you sit. You know, if somebody is talking and I'm like arrogantly standing like this, that simply indicates I'm not interested in what you're saying. But if you're talking to me, telling me your problem, I'm very keenly looking at you, understanding, then you understand, yes, the person was genuinely interested. So you should be very smart when you work for your organization. Observe the person. Maybe you are in the HR department where you have to hire staff. You should be hiring the correct staff, है ना. तो आपने सिर्फ उसके कॉन्वर्सेशन को ध्यान नहीं देना है. यू ऑल्सो हैव टू गैदर हिंट्स फ्रॉम हिज other cues matlab other hints, like from his body language. Oh, what kind of a person is he? Lot of things you can understand even from their action gestures. ठीक है क्या? The listener has to be objective, practical, and in control of his emotion. Often the understanding of a listener is colored with his own emotions. Can you just read this and try and tell what is the meaning of this? ये जो मैं blue से highlight कर रही हूँ ना, इसको पढ़ के read this, whatever I'm highlighting in blue, read this and tell me. I know this is a 100% English batch. Everything is taught in English. A few words if I use in Hindi, they are again repeated in English. So don't worry about it. Yes, so please can you read whatever I've said here? What is the meaning of this? Can somebody tell me this entire sentence in one word? Yes?
This sentence, you should be able to understand the message, comprehend it in the right way, and
that though is always there. That is there, but definitely this tries to say something else. You should not remove someone's anger on someone else. Okay. Still, one word if you can tell me. Have you heard of this word unbiased? Google it and see unbiased का meaning क्या होता है. Now, आपने एक पर्टिकुलर किसी टीचर के साथ 11th स्टैंडर्ड में झगड़ा हो गया. You know, you were not particular in your attendance. Teacher said something, you answered back, or something happened which was not good among. Yes, unbiased मतलब you know partiality होती है. तो वही टीचर is there in 12th standard judging your practicals. Now you are like गए काम से. इसी टीचर के साथ तो मेरा झगड़ा पंगा हो गया था. I had fought with this teacher and the same teacher is here. Now she is going to take revenge. अब तो वो खुन्नस निकालने वाली है. That is being partial. That is being biased. So when you are listening to somebody's thoughts, somebody's opinion, do not color them with your emotions. If somebody, क्या हो गया रे उधर? किसका कॉल आ गया तेरे को? गाना ऐसे ही बजा, गलती से लग गया. ठीक है, तू गाने वाला है क्या? गाना इधर क्या यार, मैं कब से आई एम टेलिंग यू दैट बैच देयर आर सो मेनी स्टूडेंट्स हु कम फॉरवर्ड एंड सिंग सॉन्ग्स. Okay, now listen. Now, hey, listen now. Debate competition is going on. There is one person who's talking and the debate is on some political party. You are in favor of one political party. You are the judge. You like one particular political party, but the person who's talking against that political party is very good orator, talking very nicely, giving very good speech. Everything जो भी उसके qualities are very nice. But you say नहीं, he is in favor of, not in favor of my political party, I will not give him marks. इसको बोलते हैं being biased, being partial. So in life, you always have to respect other person's feelings also. You all are friends. Even if you are friends, among friends also somebody may like something, somebody may not like something, somebody likes to get up early, some students do not like to go late, some students are, you know, आराम से ready होते हैं, then you get irritated, अरे चलो जल्दी lecture start. So you have to understand every person has their own thoughts, has their own beliefs. Okay, so you must be unbiased. That was one word for those 2-3 sentences. Not being partial. ठीक है, अपने सोच को दूसरे के सोच पे हावी नहीं होने देना है. You have to be neutral. क्या होना चाहिए? You should be neutral. Your emotions should not come in way of somebody else's thoughts. Is that clear? Yes. While listening and understanding, see that is what it says. A listener is colored. Colored मतलब जैसे बोलते हैं ना, आप जिस रंग का चश्मा पहनोगे आपको दुनिया वैसी दिखेगी. That is color. That is कि what is your view, you will find everybody that way. Okay. Now unbiased. While listening for understanding, we focus on individual and his agenda. A perceptive listener is able to satisfy a customer, suggest solutions as per the needs of the client. So client को अच्छे से सुन के लो, समझ के लो, what is his problem, understand, then give him a solution. So you must always listen for understanding, and your listening must be unbiased. It should be impartial. It should not be colored with your own thoughts and emotions. झेप रहा है क्या? ओके ना? Focus and attention. Read, you read focus and attention. Live streaming students, all good? Focus and attention में से जो भी आपके हिसाब से whatever are the keywords, circle them. Circle or underline the keywords. Come on. कौन है सोहम? वो सोहम क्या बोल रहा है पता है क्या? मैम से हाई टू सी अजय फ्रॉम माय साइड. who's Ajay? And what is C? Some joke that Anand sir is having. Oh, that's there in Inter also. The students keep on saying, I don't want to know what it is. Anyways, so who's saying hi? Soham is saying hi to you. वो घर पे ही है. घर पे ही देख के लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग कर रहा है वो. लेक्चर कौन मता? ठीक है. All right. Did you read focus and attention? Everyday work environment has multiple activities. Do you know there's always multiple activities when you go to the office? Your phone, your telephone may be ringing, your mobile, the desk ka telephone is ringing, your ghar se mobile is ringing. Some colleague comes at the same time and he wants to tell you something about a customer, and there's too much of multitasking. So you need to have focus and attention. So the like see simultaneously, yeah, multiple activities are going simultaneously means this is called as multitasking. So there's too many things happening at the same time. Ringing of the phone, an incoming email, or number of tasks requiring your attention, anxiety relating to work. So you know you have some important meeting today, board meeting, where you have to do a presentation. Then you get a little anxious, no, about it. So these are a lot. So then you lose focus. So whatever the situation may be, you must try and have the focus and attention. Emotional distress, all these can distract you. So see, these are the two keywords mere hisab se. One, there are multiple activities, and two, there are a lot of distractions. Distractions can be emotional, distractions can be noise, disturbance, too much of activity in the office. So multiple activities, distractions could be emotional and other distractions. These are detrimental, मतलब these are not good, this is harmful. Detrimental का meaning होता है harmful. Detrimental का meaning है harmful. These are harmful for communication. These are not good for communication. You may completely miss important points or cues in the interaction. Thus, keeping your focus and attention. तो क्या होता है? If you're not focused in the class also, while some important topic of accounts where some important adjustment is being taught, you may miss out, then you will not understand what is going ahead. So if you do not have focus, the next important keyword is you will miss important points. That's a very, very important keyword here, that you will miss out on important points. Correct? 9. Sometimes communicating with humans is little difficult because everyone has some emotional factor. Okay, so there's an emotional factor involved with humans. So emotional awareness and control. Human behavior is not under the sole control of emotion or deliberation, but results from interaction of these two processes. However, emotions play a important role in our interactions with people. They are a powerful force that affect our perception of reality regardless of how hard we try to be unbiased. In fact, intense emotion can undermine a person's capacity. See, the day you're very, very upset, something happened, or you gave some test, you didn't score well, and you were really expecting to get good marks, you gave some test series, you joined, and then that day you just come and decide, that's it, I'm going to quit CA. Is that a right decision? No, because that day you were emotionally disturbed. Whenever you are emotionally disturbed, be it you're too happy or you're too sad, never take any decisions. Calm down, cool down. Next day, you take a decision about what. See, maybe that one test you did some silly mistakes. Don't judge yourself only on that basis, right? So, you have to give yourself a fair chance. So, sometimes when you're emotionally disturbed, the communication pe bahut zyada impact. It puts a lot of impact on communication, right? So, emotions play a major role in interactions, and emotions की वजह से can undermine a person's capacity for rational decision making. Undermine matlab they will reduce his capacity to make rational decision. A person cannot take rational decisions if he is emotionally disturbed. Is that clear? Okay. Consequently, emotional awareness is necessary element of good communication. So on a day when you are already having a bad mood and you've already fought at home, then रिक्शा वाले से झगड़ा हो गया है, फिर आप घर ऑफिस आके किसी क्लाइंट के साथ भी ये करते हो, so that day avoid talking to your client. Talk to him after second half, lunch ke baad, when you little cool down. Unnecessarily, why overreact and get into a wrong communication? Do you understand that? Yes. While interacting with another person or a group, it is important to understand the emotions he, she, they are bringing to the decision. Managing your own and others' emotions. So it is very important factor that ये keyword है, managing खुद के emotions, your own emotions and emotions of others, and communicating keeping in mind the emotional state of others helps in smooth interaction. So when there will be smooth interaction, when your emotions are in control and you understand the emotions of the receiver also. ठीक है? पक्का? So how many characteristic? 9. Can you quickly in your book write down following other 9 and just give the heading? Can you just close the book and try and write down? Out of 9, even if you remember 4, I am very happy with it. Okay? So half भी आपको 9 में से 4.5 भी आ गया तो superb. So आप क्या करोगे? Everybody close your textbook, write down following are, लिखते क्या आज की तारीख में? ओए, following are the characteristic of communication. Following are the characteristic of communication. अपना टारगेट क्या है? 9 में से अपने को कितने याद आना चाहिए? 4. एंड इफ यू गेट अबाउट दैट, बोनस. वेरी नाइस. लिखो जल्दी. हो भी गया, 9 बजने को भी आ गए. Hey, but we still have 20-25 minutes. Once Harshad sir's class is not there, I'll take a little extra timing. Huh? I'll give you a break in between. And then I'll take a little extra. चलेगा ना? दौड़ेगा. अच्छा, जरूरी है क्या सीक्वेंस में याद आना चाहिए? बिल्कुल जरूरी नहीं है सीक्वेंस में लिखना है. Nobody is going to check the sequence. We're going to check the, if you are able to remember 9. चार. एटलीस्ट 4. हाँ, अभी लास्ट में क्या बोला मैंने? Emotions. So managing emotions. Write that. न्यू बुक टुडे? कुछ भी नहीं लिखा तूने अब तक? क्यों दूसरे बुक में कॉपी करेगा फिर इधर?
हाँ।
एक ही बुक रखने वाला है? कितनी बुक रखने वाला है बीसीआर? कब कंप्लीट करेगा? पक्का? कल दिखाएगा क्या? नहीं तो कल एब्सेंट रह जाएगा क्लास में। एब्सेंट मत रहना, मैं डांटने नहीं वाली हूँ। कम एंड अटेंड द क्लास। बट कितने याद आ रहे थे तुम लोगों को? 4? कंप्लीट, कोटियस, करेक्ट। और कैसा होना चाहिए कम्युनिकेशन? कंसाइज, वेरी गुड। तू काय लिहिलंस? काय लिहिलंस तू? अरे तो हिंदी आता है तो क्या, कैसा होना चाहिए? कितने सी है कम्युनिकेशन के कैरेक्टरिस्टिक में? कम्युनिकेशन कैसा होना चाहिए? कंप्लीट होना चाहिए, क्लियर, है कि नहीं? अरे ये हाथ ऊपर उठ, कुछ नहीं होता है। गलती कर रहा है तो स्पेलिंग्स की मिस्टेक है तो आई टीच ना, उसमें क्या है? बिंदास्त। कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन पहला क्या है? छह याद आए? वाह। तो 6 के बाद रुक गई क्या? How many of you all remembered 9? How many of you all wrote 9? Raise your hand. Really? Very good. Very good. Very nice. Very nice. एटलीस्ट 4 आए, ऐसे कितने बच्चे हैं? एटलीस्ट 4। सबको एटलीस्ट 4 तो आना ही चाहिए। हाँ हाँ, एटलीस्ट 4। ओके, गुड। लेट्स सी व्हाट इज इट। I'll also try and recall. हाँ, इधर लिखती हूँ। एक कोटियस का स्पेलिंग मैंने यू गलत है क्या कि करेक्ट है? कंसाइज, फेयर, कोटियस, कोहेरेंट। डोंट टेल ना। अरे डोंट टेल। One, there are 6 C's na, I missed out one. Listening, for, understanding. Kar. Emotional control, understanding your emotions. Emotional awareness, focus and attention. And I missed out one C. Concrete. Okay. Concrete matlab it should be based on facts. Good. Yeah. So emotional awareness, concise, clear, complete, courteous, coherent, listening for understanding, emotional awareness, focus and attention, and concrete. Is that okay? Yes. So beta, what was this? These are the characteristics of. All good? Yes. So let's take a song break. Who's coming for a song? There's a aux cable is there, or anybody wants to play a song from the mobile and the aux cable is there. I don't have the converter. It won't connect to my this. अभी गाना गाने का नहीं एक लगा तो दो मोबाइल पे. One of you come forward and put a song on the mobile. कोई गाने वाला है क्या? हाँ? No singers in the class? अरे no शेरो शायरी, nothing. गुड। बबीता 8 याद आए, वेरी नाइस। मैं नहीं लगाने वाली यूट्यूब पे गाना। वो लेक्चर मेरा यूट्यूब पे चला, कॉपीराइट क्लेम आके लेक्चर ये हो जाता है। नॉट नाउ, व्हेन वी गो ऑन द ऐप देन आई पुट ऑन यूट्यूब। अभी तुम ऑक्स केबल लेके गाना लगा दो। हाँ लगा। एंड डिस्क्लेमर, आई एम नॉट पुटिंग, दीज आर सॉन्ग्स नॉट ऑफ माई चॉइस। सी अजय इज प्लेइंग दीज सॉन्ग्स। तिकडे बघ, तिकडे, तिथे उधर आहे ऑक्स केबल. एक मिनट. हाँ, चुप रहे, क्लास मेरा है, रूल्स मेरे होंगे. 2 मिनट. और तू उधर ही रुक.
Listen to over 90 million songs ad-free and over 15 million podcast episodes with Amazon Prime Music.
We don't need a song break. We don't need a song break. जिसने गाना लगे उसने डांस भी करना चाहिए. उससे अच्छा मैं पढ़ा लेती हूँ. कम्युनिकेशन कर लेंगे. 5 मिनट, इतना टाइम नहीं हम उसको टॉलरेट कर पाएंगे.
मर्जी तुमच्या जोडीनं मिळाली फिरती छाया रंगी राया चिंबोरी मी झाले आया सोडा प्रकार काळ येळ नाही बरी पुन्हा भेटू तेव्हा तरी साजना मला जाऊ त्यानं घरी मला जाऊ त्यानं घरी मला जाऊ त्यानं घरी मला जाऊ त्यानं घरी वाचले की बरं मला जाऊ त्यानं घरी वाचले की बरं.
बंद कर. ओके, चलो. Now our song break is over. Learn to switch in and switch out. Come on. So I want you to all clap your hands and get charged for whatever little time we have. Clap your hands loudly. Come on. Now, Bhushan, this is called switch in and switch out. Okay? You need to do that. Now let us understand. Focus. अब हमारा क्या पढ़ के हो गया? What did we finish studying? Characteristics. Now we will learn the barriers in communication. Now we will learn the barriers in communication. What is the meaning of barriers? I told you guys to write on the top red margin, right? So yesterday we wrote barriers is equal to hindrance is equal to obstacles is equal to problems. Is that clear? Yes. Okay. First barrier. Now, let us focus and understand. The first barrier is physical barriers. Come on, guys, let's do it. आज characteristic आपको काफी अच्छे से learn हो गए. You learn the characteristics so well. Let us learn the barriers. Tomorrow, I'll be finishing this topic and I'll start with the next topic also. Mostly, I should be able to finish with communication. Barriers के बाद एक छोटा सा case study is there. After barriers, I just have one small case study. एक first page एक process. I know what is pending. So I'll be completing that tomorrow, and if possible after communication I'll start with the next topic. Okay, next chapter. Now let's focus. Physical barriers. These are the result of our surroundings. किसका result है बेटा ये? Surroundings. Colorful pens. The heading should be highlighted and other keywords should be circled in different color pens. Is that okay? Yes. Physical barriers. These are the result of our surroundings. For example, noise, technical disturbances. Now technical disturbances, outdated equipment. Now sometimes technical disturbances is common with the live streaming students, but it is going to happen. See, like technology has its advantage. Today when I'm teaching these students in the class, there are students attending across India. So that is possible because of technology. Sometimes we can have internet issues, we can have some other technical issues which is bound to happen. This is comes under which barrier? Physical barrier. So sometimes if a lecture could not be taken, what is the reason? No lights, no internet connection. So that is called as the technical barrier, which gets covered under physical barrier. So noise, sometimes if there's some event or function going on, so there's too much of noise, so it disturbs us. So that's a barrier. The communication is not clear. You're not able to focus. You're not able to pay attention, right? So this is a result of our surroundings: noise, technical disturbance, outdated equipment, office distant locations, office doors, separate areas for people of different areas, large office spaces, old technology, lack of appropriate infrastructure. All of this may cause, there's one office, there's no cubicle, everybody's sitting together, just baju baju mein everybody's sitting. It causes a lot of disturbance. He's talking to some client, this person, other person is talking to somebody. You're not able to focus and pay attention. Correct? Yes. Organizational structure barriers. If you don't choose the correct structure, office mein nobody tells you to whom you are supposed to report. You have 4 queries of customers, but you don't know to whom and go and tell. Your boss is not available. He's traveling. His job is such that he needs to travel a lot. He's not there, but those customers are getting worried. There's no way you can communicate to him. There should be, that in his absence, this is the person to whom you should report. Or if your boss is traveling, he should get in touch with you. You should be able to communicate to him through mail. He should access the mail, check, because then this leads to problem. This is organizational structure barriers. You have not developed a correct structure in your organization. What is this barrier, beta? Organizational structure barrier. Yes, so I'll just highlight it. Organizational structure barrier. Communication problem occurs when the system or structures or processes are not clear. So structure in the organization is not clear. This is the key word. Okay. Organizational structure barriers. What is the key word here? क्या circle किया आपने? What have you circled, beta? Structures and processes in the organization are not clear. Why? If the chain of command is unclear, you have been told, you don't know who your junior, whom to communicate. You don't know. Sometimes it happens when you've just joined, or sometimes some organizations are not very well organized. They are not, the department is not clear, structure is not clear. That's a very bad thing. Then it leads to a lot of confusion. ठीक है? Communication अच्छे से फिर it's not possible to do communication properly. Correct. Inappropriate information transmission systems, lack of supervision, unclear role. You don't know whom you are supposed to report. Therefore, you just have been told, talk to the customers and take down your queries. But what should I do with these queries? To whom should I communicate these queries? Who's going to work on it? What is my role on it? This is unclear. This is a communication barrier. Did the customer's query get resolved? No, because it did not reach the right person. Correct? Yes. So responsibility demarcations. The boss has told me, just take down customer's query and you will not solve them. Wait till I come. He's traveling from last 10 days. So I'm waiting. The customer is also waiting. So I don't know what is my responsibility. Responsibility demarcations, matlab who's taking what responsibility. Role has to be divided, na? नहीं तो हर कोई double काम करेगा, सही से काम नहीं करेगा. So this is organizational structure barriers. Did you understand this? Next barrier, language barrier. Now here also, language barrier may be there. So sometimes understanding some things in English may be difficult. Sometimes understanding in Hindi is a barrier for some states of students. For some students, a particular language can cause a barrier. But you are sometimes required to communicate to a customer in South. You're sitting here, but a major customer or client of yours is from South India. So you need to communicate. Now that there may be some language barrier. You're not able to communicate to each other clearly. Okay, so language can create obstacles. So write down, it can create obstacles. Literally, people from different regions and countries may interpret the same words differently. Okay, the same word can be interpreted in a different way. It depends upon your language, the culture, the background, or the country that you are coming from. The same is actually in a language barrier and cultural barrier. They are similar. Two barriers. See this one, and what is the next barrier? Culture. So one barrier is what? Language. And what is the next barrier, beta? Culture. Language barrier. So you may interpret different regions and countries. Now, difficult words, subject-specific terminology, unfamiliar expressions, ambiguous words having multiple meanings create hurdles in communication. It is also a fact that linguistic ability of various people in the workplace is different. Some may be proficient. Proficient matlab expert. Some may be proficient in a language while others may possess just basic skills. Everybody's communication is not same. Do you understand that? Yes. So if you 4 students come here and give a speech, are all going to have same speech kind of delivery? No. Everybody's skills are going to be different. Somebody is good in some language, somebody is comfortable in some other language. Words in different languages will have different meanings. Okay. Cultural barriers. Can you just read cultural barriers, please? Bhushan, send your contact number. What problem you're having in inter, you're an inter student PD, what technical issues you're having. Send your phone number. The technical team, I'll see to it that the technical team calls you. And don't unnecessarily come and attend this lecture. You're an inter student, you have too much to study right now. So focus on your studies. Send us your contact details. Our technical team will get in touch. I'll forward your number to the technical team and see to it they call you. So send your number and focus on your studies now. Okay बेटा? चलो आगे जाएंगे. ये तुमने पढ़ा कि कल्चरल बैरियर? You know, this is something like, don't you all have different rules? Everybody has different customs na, at your home also. Everybody's dinner timing is different. Somebody would have a full meal for lunch and lesser meal for dinner. Some families may have a full meal for dinner and lesser, things depending upon everybody's schedule and likings and all. So every family has a different kind of tradition or a custom that they follow, a lifestyle that they follow. Within Pune also, everybody will not be having the same. When you go to each other's friends' houses, you realize, no, अरे इनके यहाँ अच्छा ऐसे खाना बनता है या इस type की इनकी है. Everybody sits together. Somebody is having early dinner, somebody have dinner at 9 or whatever. So ये तो within the same region है. Imagine when you go to different regions and imagine when you go to different countries. Yes. Now in Germany, if you meet even for an office meeting, first they start with a beer. Everybody, if you go out for a official meeting also, the official meeting also first will start with having beer together and then they'll talk. So that's a culture of a country. That will just not happen in India or some other countries. Do you understand that? Yes, so these are different kinds of cultures that different countries have. So if you're going out for your office related work to some other country, if you're going for some office related work to some other country, the office gives you a brief. See, you're going to this country, this is the culture of that country. So some countries, in Western countries, the dinner time is very early. So some places, they have dinner even by 7, by 8. by 7:30. The shops, the restaurants, offices close there by 7 o'clock. Nothing will be open there. So everything closed, because some countries have very good work and life balance. So why should a shopkeeper sit and open the shop till 9 and 10? He also has his family life to enjoy. So they'll close everything by 7. Some countries. So everywhere the culture is different. Do you understand that? So these are the cultural barriers. So if you are going to some other place, understand the culture of that place, then there will be effective communication. ठीक है क्या? Yes. You want to go ahead? One more and then we'll stop. I think too much of theory, no? एक और कर लेना. Emotional barriers. I already taught you this. Emotional barrier. One of the chief barriers to open and free communication is emotional barrier. Anger, fear, criticism or ridicule, mistrust of a person, suspicion of intention, jealousy, anxiety, many more feelings, sentiments we carry within us affect our communication ability and quality. You must have seen all this in movies. We see this, no, that you don't trust somebody, you don't want that person to succeed. So these are these emotional, you don't want your colleague to succeed. So lot of communication barriers or miscommunication happens when you are having emotional barriers. Emotions are very, very important. You don't trust a person, you suspect a person, you don't like a person, there's jealousy, so all anger, fear. So all this is a very, very big barrier in communication. So emotion दोनों जगह है कि emotional awareness should be there as a characteristic, and if you don't do that then it can become a barrier. So अब तक कितने barriers we learned बेटा? Yes, how many barriers have we learned? 5. Can you tell me what is the first? Physical barrier is noise and technical issues, outdated equipment. So what is physical barrier? Noise, surroundings se jo bhi disturbance is there. Organizational structure barrier, I've keyword, structure and process is not clear. Your role is not clear. There is no responsibility demarcations done. Language and cultural barrier. So somebody is good in a particular language, somebody is not good in English, but he has to talk to a customer in US, they understand only English. So then maybe that project may not be given to him, because then there is a language barrier. So somebody else who is good at English could be given that particular project, no? Because talking to a customer in US, there's no other language option other than English. Do you understand that? This is an example that I'm giving you. Cultural barriers, so every multinational companies, and companies over special courses and documents, they have special courses and documents to familiarize their stay with the culture of the country where they are based. So if a company in Italy comes to India, they will find out what is the culture in India, and then they will give instructions to their staff to work accordingly. ठीक है? And last I taught you what beta? Emotional. Last what I taught you is emotional barrier. Is that okay? Yes. So I think we'll continue with the remaining barriers tomorrow. Maybe I might take the entire lecture also to complete communication chapter, but that's okay. There's no target. We are going in the flow, in whatever flow we can. Yes. So thank you so much, students. I'll see you tomorrow at 8:15. Okay. Thank you. Live streaming students, are you having any issues? Then we'll stop the streaming and stop the recording. Okay, thank you.